Okay, so I'm getting a lot of these. So I guess a lot of people don't know about Lake Lanier. I don't know. There used to be a town called Oscarville, Georgia. The town was flooded to make Lake Lanier. It's a really sad and terrible story. You can look it up. I think it's awful.
I have heard so many stories about people passing away on Lake Lanier. One of Ursha's stepson, when he was married to Tamika Foster, her son was, unalived on Lake Lanier. These people are going to be telling their stories of what they experienced while they were on the lake. I would never go to the lake. Some people said they didn't have any issues while they was there, but I'm not going to go around to see if I would have any issues or not. This video is for entertainment purposes only and allegedly.
Okay, there's churches under there. There's cemeteries up under there. They didn't dig the bodies up. The bodies are still buried under there. There's a racetrack up under there. When there's water's low, you can see the top of the trees. Those aren't like little twigs or whatever floating around. That's the top of trees from the town below there. So it is my personal preference not to go because I've heard so many stories. Every year on the news, there are things happening. Of course, it could be coincidence. It could be, okay? I went one time with my ex-husband and we were swimming. I was completely in my right mind, wasn't doing anything not to be in my right mind, if you get what I'm saying. And I thought he was behind me pulling me up underwater.
And see, this is the exact same story I hear every single time when I watch someone's story when they're talking about Lake Lanier. They say every time they are underwater or they are swimming, it feels like someone is grabbing them and pulling them under. Like, see, I cannot do that. I would just prefer to stay away from it.
And when I would get back up above water, I would look around and he wasn't behind me, and I thought he was just going under. I thought he was playing a trick on me or whatever. Well, finally, when I started screaming or whatever, I heard him holler my name, and he is way over here with his friend about 7 or 8 yards away from me. So I don't know what was pulling me under.
But I'm going to still tell my story, okay? This is about Lake Lanier, 6 to 7 years ago. I went, my friend invited me. I didn't know these people, but I went anyway. It was good vibes, right? It was like one of those days where it's like too perfect, like scary perfect. Like everything was just flowing. It gets so good, people start jumping in the water, y'all. This one things go for a turn. So it's like 4 people in there. Everybody gets out except for this one girl. She's swimming or whatever. And she starts to struggle and look at us. And we're like, oh my God, she's drowning. Like, somebody help her.
I don't know why people keep playing with that lake and you constantly keep hearing these different stories. Why do you keep jumping in the water and then you either drown or someone have to save you? I would not touch that water, like I keep saying. I only can hear 2 or 3 stories of somebody saying somebody got unalive from drowning or that lake seemed haunted. I'm not going there, just point blank period.
So this one guy, he's pretty lit, but he's like, nah, I know how to swim real good, blah, 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 blah. All right. So he jumps in. So we thinking, okay, he gonna save her. And he does, okay? He does save her. She gets back on the boat. But he didn't get back on the boat. And I'm like, what's going on? I kid you not. There's a button down there at Lake Lanier. Like a little button that they push. It must be cameras. Because, baby, when I say people drown at a certain time, and that water was just swirling so hard, more than ever. And it was that one little area. Something's going on down there.
And see, hearing her saying, talking about the water was swirling like somebody punched a button. Like, why was the water swirling in that certain spot? What is going on down there? Like, they said it's a black community got flooded out. Those people probably are still pissed up under there. Because I'm not going to lie, I believe in spirits. I believe in ghosts. You can, take it how you want to take it. It could be that those people are pissed off of what happened to their community and they're not happy about it. And the fact that people are enjoying themselves, riding across that lake, having fun, getting drunk, maybe it pisses them off. I don't know.
So he's swimming. We throw him a donut. We like, come on, get back, get back. He's missing the donut because the water's so hard. It's swirling, literally like a tornado. Do you know this man did not come back up from the water? We call the police immediately. They come an hour and a half later. Are you crazy? That boy is way gone under the water. I don't know where that water took him, but he never came back up.
So, hey, I'm an Atlanta native. Grew up about 30 minutes from Lake Lanier, and this scar is from Lake Lanier. So when I was 4 years old, I got on a jet ski, was playing around on the back of it, and my dad and his friend decided to crank the jet ski, and it scared me. And so I grabbed the handlebar and I grabbed the throttle. Unknowingly, I was trying to grab the handlebar because I was really scared. And so I grabbed it like this, and instead I grabbed the throttle and held it all the way down. And I was all of like 40 pounds at the most. I was probably like 30-ish because I was very small. I was in a cove. I went straight towards a rock quarry, so this big rock embankment. And as I was going, and the wind was, I still remember it like it was yesterday. Yeah, you can see it. So as the wind was going, I, like blowing my hair, I looked to my left and there was this beautiful woman with long, I mean like the longest, like past, like probably to her waist, long hair. And she was wearing this blue teal, like kind of crocheted, like knit dress, like tank top dress. And she was sitting kind of like either kneeling or Indian style. Anyways, she was like sitting on her knees almost like this in the air, like that. Yeah, that's pretty, that's accurate. And she was like, hey, this may hurt a little bit, but everything's gonna be okay. And I was like, what might hurt? And right when I turned my head back straight, I hit the rock quarry. I flew up and I hit one of 3 trees that were about this big around, where they had cut off a limb and went into my head. The witnesses said that after I hit the tree, this is the tree, this is my little 4-year-old body. I hit the tree, I was suspended in the air like this, face down, I hit the water.
Oh my God. I know she is very thankful and grateful that she is still here, because that sounds like a horrible accident. And to see your daughter take off on the jet ski, wasn't trying to, and seeing her crash, and she's only 4 years old, I would have had a fit. And the crazy thing, she's seen basically, I guess, could have been like a guardian angel letting her know she's going to be good. And for her to remember it, that's a moment and a memory she will never forget. Like, that lake would not be on my bucket list to go to. And I know I keep saying that, but I'm dead ass serious.
I was pulled out of the water, and obviously I lived because I'm in my 30s now.
So I too have a Lake Lanier story. Let me share that with you guys. So once upon a time, I was out with my friends. We decided to, I guess you call it, charter a boat on Lake Lanier, right? So even on our way there, we're just like, Lake Lanier is supposed to be spooky, right? Like, what is we doing? You know? And I can't, to be honest with you, like at this particular point in time, I'm still not a swimmer per se. I definitely couldn't swim then. So I made sure that I wore a life vest when we got on the boat. And so, we're on the boat. We've got our music going. Everything is great. We're having a great time. Like, again, mind you, I cannot swim. I cannot, right? So again, life vest in tow. All of a sudden, I feel somebody like push me, like, and one of the girls on the boat, she was like super drunk. She pushed me off the boat.
And this is the reason why I do not like to be around a lot of people when there's drinking going on, because when some people start drinking, they start acting ignorant and crazy and doing dumb-ish. Like, I'm quite sure this girl knew, if they all were friends, that this woman could not swim. And if you knew she could not swim, why would you push her off the boat in the first place? Did you want to see her drown? I know she said the girl was super drunk, but like they say, a drunk person speaks their sober mind. Did you want to see her drown? Did you really do this on purpose, and you knew you pushed this girl off this boat? When I got back on there, we would have had some problems, and we would have been throwing hands with each other, because why would you do that?
Now, at this particular point in time, at that time, I was like reality TV levels of hothead, but like real, not reality TV. And so, but I'm like, I can't do that on Lake Lanier, and we're on a boat, and like, nothing's going to be resolved if I take it there, right? So everybody on the boat was looking like, okay, first of all, we got to save Cokes, but the second thing is like, what's Cokes going to do, right? So once they saved my life and pull me back on the boat, I am contemplating, what am I going to do to this girl? But then I'm also like, one thing about me, I'm kind of going to meet people sort of where they're at.
Well, you should have met her where she was at, drunk or not, because that was not cool of her push you out the boat and knowing you could not swim.
So anyway, I'm sitting on the boat quiet, and everybody's just looking at me like, because they know how I give it up. Like, they know how I am, right? So again, the girl who shoved me off the boat, she just thought it was so funny, and she was just being so belligerent and just doing too much. It was okay if she wouldn't have pushed me. Like, it was all right for the set. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it was like, just a bunch of people on the boat just having a good time. The story kind of ends there, right? And then the next day, the gang gets a phone call. They're like, oh my gosh, so and so that pushed Coco off the boat is dead. And I'm like, oh, well, what happened? Well, she was coming home from wherever she was coming home from, and she was driving the wrong way, and bam, straight into a semi.
Oh, that's insane, y'all. Like, to do that and then end up getting killed right after doing that to her. That's insane right there. I'm sitting here speechless.
I said, ain't that about a thing? Was that Lake Lanier getting her get back? You decide.
The year was 2019. My friend's birthday was coming up, and she wanted to have a boat party for her birthday on Lake Lanier. So we sail off, we go find us a little spot in the lake, and we decide to anchor the boat to where we are. Now, she wants people to get into the lake. She herself wants to get into the lake, but she doesn't know how to swim, so her mom is not going for that. But she was like, I want y'all to get into the lake because like that was the whole point of us coming here. So all the females were like, no, I'm not getting into the lake. Y'all know female shit. They're not getting to the lake, they're not getting in here with none of that.
After hearing stories about that lake, I wouldn't have cared about my hair or none of that. I'm like, I'm not getting the lake, point blank, period. It don't have nothing to do with my hair. I want to live and I want to survive.
All the men was like, hell yeah. Boom. So it was about 6 girls, 6 guys on the boat, and I'm the youngest guy. But when it was time for everybody to go on the slide, I was acting scared. Like they were scared to get on the boat. I mean, on the slide. I'm like, bro. I told them to give me, I know how to swim. I was gonna go out there without a life vest, but my friend was like, "No, don't go out there without a thing because I don't trust it. I don't trust it." She was just like, "Don't go out there without it." So I said, "Okay, cool. She don't know how to swim. I'm just doing this for her safety, mind you. Her doing that properly saved my fucking life. I swear to God."
That was her intuition, and by her speaking up on what she felt, which was her intuition, yes, it definitely saved you.
So like I told you, I was the first person to go down the slide. I get on, I slide down the fucking slide, I land in the water. I land in the water, everybody's excited, everybody's screaming and shit. I look up, the boat is no more than 10, 15 feet in front of me. So I decided to start swimming back. As I'm deciding to swim back, I start feeling this tug against me. And it's not like this forceful tug, but it feels like a tug. Like, you know when something's holding you from doing something. I look up, I stop swimming because I'm like, bro, I should be closer to the boat now. I stop, I look up, the boat is further away than when I started fucking swimming. So I'm like, oh, fuck no. Everybody in the boat is really now like, they're laughing because they think I'm panicking. But I am panicking, but like in real life, I just started swimming towards the boat and the boat just got further away. That should not happen in no situation ever in fucking life. I was being pulled every time I started swimming. So I swim harder. I swim faster, I swim harder. I swim faster, I swim harder. I finally reach the boat. I tell them to pull me up, pull me up, pull me up, pull me up. So when I finally get on the boat, my friend asked me, she was like, I thought you said you know how to swim. I said, I do know how to swim. She said, it looked like you was just, flaying, I don't know what the fuck, how to pronounce that shit, but you know, just swinging your arms in the water. And I was like, no, I was actually swimming to y'all, but it felt like I was being pulled. And when I looked back up, the boat was further away. The next person gets on the slide. Mind you, I told you all these niggas bigger than me. They get on, same thing happens. It gets back on the boat. The same thing that I just said happened to me, the nigga just said happened to him, right? So I said, I told you, it feels like something is literally pulling me while I was in the water trying to swim to y'all. That shit was weird as fuck. I'm not getting back up in there. I'm not getting back up in there. When he went, he said he's not getting back up in there. The third dude went, after him, nobody else went. Let's just say that. Everybody came out with the same story. Nobody else went after that.
All it took was for you, and you was the first person that got on the slide and went in the water, told me, hey, it felt like something was pulling me on the water. I wouldn't have got on there. I wouldn't have waited after the third person said it and like, oh, I'm not getting in the water. I wouldn't have got in the water after you said it.
Mind you, at the beginning of the story, I told y'all that we set down a anchor so that we could stay in place. It's time to pull the anchor up. It's about 12, 16 niggas on the shit. These niggas are big. We're 6'2". 6 men, 6'2". It's time to pull this anchor up. Can't nobody pull this fucking anchor no matter any way that we're pulling it. We pull it this way, it's not tugging. We pull it that way, it's not tugging. We're tugging. I'm sorry, y'all. We started from the front of the boat to the back of the boat. Now it's all 12 of us. Everybody got a piece of this fucking rope, and we're pulling. And the anchor will not fucking move.
And that's when panic mode would have kicked in, and I would have been around there upset and yelling, let's get the hell out of here.
So in the midst of this, the mom calls up to the boat people and tell them, listen, the anchor is not coming loose. We done tried this way, we done tried this, we done came from the front of the boat to the back of the boat. We done had 12 people pull this shit. It's not budging. They said, you know what? The best thing for y'all to do is just leave it there because our reservation is almost over. It's going to take y'all 15 minutes to get here. Da 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 da. Okay, cool. We decided to leave the anchor, and that is that. And ever since that day, none of us that was on that boat, to my knowledge, has ever been back to Lake Lanier because the fuck y'all got us fucked up.